Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hello everyone, so the dump has started. This is what we were being cautious about for the last couple of days and definitely knew we were extremely overbought. So what we have with Bitcoin is the daily equilibrium pattern that we were looking for. High, low of the pullback. Our lower high was just set at 18,150, and we're going to look for a higher low to form on the daily chart somewhere above 13,500. So the low of today might not be that low. We are seeing a short-term oversold bounce. I'm currently in a Bitcoin position on this oversold bounce, but we are not confident that our higher low on the daily is set yet until we see some trend changes on the hourly time frame back to favor the bull, because right now lots of these time frames are going to the bears. We had a clear bear signal at 16,750. We highlighted that in the video yesterday. If we lose that level, we lose the 4-hour higher low pattern. That has now been lost. We went from higher lows and higher highs to a lower high and then a lower low. So a big volume flush. Look at the hourly time frame. It was a bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern when you're going from higher lows and higher highs to a lower high and then a lower low. So as soon as that low broke, we lost the higher low pattern. Now we have a volume climax and a bullish reversal candlestick attempting to form here on the hourly chart. I'm personally going to be holding this position for a little bit longer than I normally would. I would normally be out of this trade right now, but because we got oversold on the hourly, it touched 30 RSI. The 15-minute RSI is so overextended. I'm looking for a move back into the upper $16,000 range by the time the bulls run out of momentum on this bounce. So the 15-minute time frame, bullish reversal candlestick being confirmed. We'll be confident that the low of this dump is in when we form a 15-minute higher low and higher high and get a bull MACD cross along with it. So as of right now, a really solid bounce, but anticipating that we will set that high of the bounce, then we'll pull back and form a higher low, and then we'll take it from there. Likely an equilibrium pattern that the bulls need to see follow through. Otherwise, we're going to be heading right back down to where we came from. 15,700 was our low. So as we get closer now to 16.6 and 16.7, I personally will likely begin to scale out of my position and then re-enter on consolidation looking for that higher low. So that's where we stand right now as far as the daily chart goes for Bitcoin. Again, the equilibrium pattern is very clear. Bull's still in control as long as 13,500 holds. If we break 13,500 or if we break this equilibrium pattern bearish, we're then entering a longer term bearish trend, in my opinion, that could last a few weeks or a couple months. So we have to be cautious now. And of course, all these gains, now I have to lock them in, and we're completely changing our style. We were in breakout mode the past week. We've been trading in that style and actively trading frequently. I made about 20 trades yesterday. Today, we are in consolidation mode. We are changing things. We are holding back. And what point we pointed out last night as the change in the chat room was over the past few days, every time we've been running, we've been watching 2 coins dump and 1 coin run, telling us that money is shifting around. I said the red flag is going to be when all 3 start pulling back at the same time, because that shows us money is leaving the market, going back to cash or withdrawing or whatever, but it's not going into other coins. So we had all 3 do that last night. We saw a 5-minute oversold bounce with some nice gains, and then we saw them do it again today, obviously, with this all-out dump. That's the change in the pattern that we are looking for, with the bears taking over and the bulls running out of buying momentum. Nobody's left to buy up at these levels. So now it's a musical chair exit, and this is what a musical chair exit looks like. Everybody racing to the exit with nobody left to buy. So the oversold bounce did play out, or is playing out, I should say. I'm going to start setting a couple sell orders while I am here talking. And that will allow me to have cash to rebuy if we do set that high of the bounce, and then we pull back and form a higher low as anticipated. And I might have just missed it there. Only got a little bit off, and we are starting to pull back a little bit. So let's see if that's the top of the bounce, and we'll pull back and try and form a higher low in the low 1600s. And I'm not going to try and sell on the way down and sell market order to race to the exit, because I do believe we are going to set a higher low and a higher high on this 5-minute time frame, showing that bounce follow through. And if we don't, I will certainly exit at break even, worst case scenario. I entered a little bit early, entered down here in the 15.9s. I like that flush of psychological support. That flush of psychological support in already oversold conditions gives us volume climaxes. It gives us stop losses triggering and the bulls following through. And fortunately, 15,700 held. I was with my finger on the sell trigger, about to sell and then reload lower when the bounce started, and that kept me from selling right at the bottom, really. So bounce underway. Let's see what Ethereum looks like. Huge bearish reversal spinning top candlestick. This shows indecision after a huge move. We had nice bull breaks to all-time highs and certainly participated in that. And now we're having a bounce from the lows. So the 4-hour time frame, still a higher low pattern. New key support is 631. The bulls here in Ethereum had a lot more wiggle room because we just came from the all-time high breakout. So the hourly time frame, big pullback, higher low. So you can see the low of last consolidation, 606, higher low, 631. We'll see if the bulls can hold this. 15-minute time frame needs a higher low and a higher high and a bull MACD cross for this bounce to be more prolonged. Checking in on the 5-minute time frame, clear lower high, lower low pattern, well intact, resistance 720. So 700 psychological and then 720. And you can see on this entire downtrend, lower highs and lower lows, no sign of the bulls. Had a perfect equilibrium pattern early this morning, which is what we were trading for the all-time high. High, low, higher high. This is when the equilibrium pattern started. Higher low, lower high, higher low, bull break. So we entered here, getting in, anticipating the all-time high. I sold in the 730s and 740s on the way up. And now a significant pullback. Look at this equilibrium pattern signaling the top. High, low, lower high, higher low, sideways trading, bear break on spiking bear volume. Very clear that the top was in at that point for now, and couldn't anticipate that we were going to fall into a market dump, but that's what happened, and using this shorter term time frame would have protected against that. So Ethereum has the bounce playing out as well. We are anticipating a lower high compared to 720. I would likely expect the bulls to struggle at 700, and again have to form the higher lows and higher highs on both the 5 and 15-minute time frame. Checking back in on Bitcoin to see if I can get some sell orders off, and definitely not at this point. We are already pulling back on Bitcoin. So if I were in Ethereum now, I would be exiting, anticipating that we're about to pull back and follow Bitcoin to have to form that higher low. And on these pullbacks, you want to see declining bear volume. You want to see the bear volume nowhere near comparing to the bull volume on the bounce on the way up. So we'll keep an eye on that as well to make sure it's healthy consolidation going on and not just another dump coming up. If we see increasing bear volume, we can look for another dump. Litecoin, inside bar on the daily time frame, 4-hour chart. Big pullback, but look at this. We didn't establish support on the way up at all. We've got support down at 239.60, and the bulls are attempting to establish new support, 275 at this point. So for everybody that was saying, oh, I should have just held, I'd have this much money. If, it's really easy to do when you're at all-time highs. But then when you pull back 420 down to 275, we're talking a pullback of $145, which is a significant percentage. That is what, 30, 35%? No longer is that the case that I should have held. We're trading it on the way up. We're protecting ourselves. If you've been watching these videos, it was very clear that we knew something was up. And if you're in the chat room last night, we were posting all kinds of red flags. So we're following through now and getting messages of people that were all cash because of that and avoiding this dump. And that's the way to be. Protect that profit. There's going to be more trading opportunities after the dust settles from this pullback. So looking at the hourly time frame for Litecoin, we had a clear bear break when we lost this higher low. So here was the bounce from last night. Had a nice bounce play out. This low breaking, 313, was a big red flag. We flushed down to 275. Volume climax, bullish reversal hammer on the daily time frame. We'll see if we can confirm it with some follow through. 15-minute here, volume climax signaled the low, and now a bounce attempt trying to play out. Resistance, the high of the last bounce attempt, 319.88. Look at these inside bars signaling we weren't at the bottom yet. Inside bar, clear bear break at 306.64, and from there we flushed down another $30, another 10% flush from that inside bar bear break. So there's all kinds of signals everywhere in terms of the red flags, the losses of support, the bear breaks of inside bars, and now it's just whether or not the bulls can recover and see the dust settle. And this sell-off is a bit more extreme on GDAX than other exchanges, and that is, in my opinion, because we ran up more extreme to the upside. So if you run up faster, you're going to pull back faster, and vice versa. And we'll see if we can get a higher low and higher high on these 5-minute, 15-minute time frames to indicate that this bounce has some more power behind it. So watching volume close on consolidation, certainly being cautious, trading way less, protecting that capital. There will be better opportunities. In that video yesterday when I was saying, maybe now it's time to take off some profit if you're doing really well. What are the odds that we're never going to see $360 on Litecoin again? My point being that, if you sell at 360, we're very likely going to be able to rebuy at that level or cheaper. And of course, that now in hindsight is a good idea. So that's where we stand. Do I think consolidation is over? No, this is just the start of consolidation. The break of Bitcoin of this daily equilibrium pattern is going to be very, very telling, and it is going to give us momentum in the cryptocurrency space for the big three heading into the new year. If we get a bear break, that is a very significant signal that we are not going to see all-time highs anytime soon, in my opinion, if we break 13,501. So that's what I'm watching develop for the next couple weeks, and we will watch to see how the new futures December 18th reacts and how we have volatility there with Bitcoin. And as far as Ethereum and Litecoin go, we can see that we're all synced back up now with the big three all correlating, and that usually happens when we see some extreme volatility in the entire sector. So money is leaving the sector today. It's been pouring in for the past few days. Traders have been bouncing around, and now we'll see if the traders are interested in playing these oversold bounces. So far, so good, but we need to see these higher lows and higher highs, most notably on the 15-minute time frame. I want to see that on the 15-minute time frame to be confident in continuation. So I appreciate you watching. We'll continue to check back in, and I hope you have a wonderful night.